In the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 93. Yeah, life got in the way, I guess.
These
So,
hiatuses just get longer and longer. That's just really what it comes down to.
yeah. All right, well, we're just going to kick it off, start with the NHL. I don't know about you, but it's probably the sport that we both watch the most.
Uh, Actually, for me this year, it's been harder to get into it.
Oh, really?
I haven't really been getting into most sports right now.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Like
been
I follow them, but like watching them is just a completely different thing. It's just easier to scroll through Twitter.
yeah, no, I've caught at least parts of every Devils game so far and a few of the others. So yeah. Over here we have probability to make playoffs all the way to winning cup. So aside from the pretty much expected Panthers and Hurricanes to be basically guaranteed to make the playoffs at this point,
Mm-hmm.
you have Calgary and Edmonton also at and Tampa Bay at pretty high percentages.
Yeah.
Any numbers surprise you as being so high or so low so far?
I mean, I know it's early, and I know Vegas is, been a contender for a number of years, but 54% chance to make the playoffs is remarkably low for a team that's been contending ever since the jump. And they unloaded Flurry being an older guy, no longer being seen as an asset. Um, but they still have Robin Leonard, and for them to be that low, I mean, below the Kraken, who we both agree don't have a lot of offense, is kind of troubling. Um,
I just
I
think
I
that means
mean,
that the Kraken are too high. Not necessarily that Vegas is too low. Maybe a couple percent too
well,
low.
they're in the same division, so if the Kraken are too high, then some other team is too low.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't know. Uh, what do you think of the fact that the Hurricanes are as good as they are, and they're still only an 89.9% based on this model to make
I
the playoffs?
I mean, what? Theoretically, they can lose just as many games in a row as they've won, right?
Yeah, but it's a forecasting model. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's fair because you're basically saying like they're the top of this in terms of percentage. They basically have a 90% chance, right?
hmm
And you're basically saying that there is some possibility they basically lose out the rest of the season, but not much.
yeah, no, I agree with that.
So yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, most of the other teams are kind of right where you would put them.
I
I mean,
mean, Metro is the Metro, I guess. Like all teams aside from the Islanders are pretty close in there.
mhm.
Uh yeah.
Central is the Central.
Yeah.
Like, what do you really expect out of the Central? It's you kind of know in a lot of divisions in hockey right now who you're going to get out of it,
Yeah.
and you kind of know that the teams that have been rebuilding for the past 2 3 years are still kind of rebuilding, and
Uh
that's why
yeah.
Buffalo, Ottawa, Red Wings, they're all kind of still in that same place
I
because they've
mean,
been long rebuilds.
you have the bottom feeders of the Coyotes, the Blackhawks, the Senators, right? I think those are the lowest three.
hmm
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty expected.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think so.
all this tells me is it's gonna still be a Metro race like no other. Uh, and
It always is for
yeah,
some
and
reason.
the rest of the league is like some maybe slightly figured out, but some not really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, are we ready to just say that Carter Hart is bad?
Uh, I say
How
probably.
many? I mean, how many more years do they give him?
I mean, I don't know if you need another like year to say he's bad, but like I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he could pick it up, but it's basically the year.
Yeah, because I mean, last year he was not very good. He's 3-2 this year with a 2.41 goals against average and 9.26 save percentage. So save percentage is fine. It's actually above his normal or average
I
one.
mean, what 9-3 is
But like,
normal, right? Like for a goalie, it's like really good for a goalie is 9-3.
right, but is yeah. I mean, 2.4 is this is his lowest goals against average, but they're just not winning.
But also like how much of that like if he has a almost a .93 with 2.4 goals against or how much of
Mhm.
that is just the defense letting so many shots get to him? How much?
So far he's faced a third of the shots that he faced last year.
And he's 3-2 right now.
And last year he was 9-11.
Yeah, isn't that a problem?
Big time.
So I so
Last year he faced 632, or I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Last year he faced 721 shots. This year he's at 230 so far.
yeah, that's a problem.
That's not a third though. It's close, but it's not a
But
third.
it's still a problem, right? 5 games and you played 20 games last year, right?
Hmm.
And you played 5 games this year and it's not even close to a
He's
fifth.
played 7 games this year.
Oh,
7 games this year, 25 games last year.
yeah. So you're still at what, a quarter of the games played?
Yeah, it's not a great start.
So I don't know. I think that number of shots that are getting to him is slightly too high
And
because
it's 32%.
like you have a fine save percentage.
Hmm.
Like you're slightly under a .93. You should be in the low two like 2.1, 2.2 goals again.
Hmm.
And then we wouldn't be complaining about your stats.
Yeah.
It's just the number of shots you've had to face that's slightly skewing it. I just don't know. Like, I have very little faith that he continues this type of performance facing that many shots.
And speaking of, continuing that performance, somehow Jari has convinced people that he's good again. His
I'm
his
sorry,
stat
dude.
his stats are pretty good for right now, but I don't think the fan base really cares. They're ready to get rid of him
Yeah, I'm
regardless.
sorry, dude. That's not it.
It's not. It really never should have been, but here we are.
Yeah. So I mean, like, to be fair to Carter Hart, though, he's having a phenomenal year comparatively to last year. I think.
In a sense that it's not anywhere near as bad as.
Yeah. So, but the problem is, yeah, I don't know if you're holding those numbers.
I mean, last year's goals against was 3.67.
Yeah, that's not it.
That's yeah.
That's probably
That's
barely a 900 save percentage.
well, that's about as not it as it can get.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about for the NHL?
No, not really.
All right. So let's look at the MLB, even though we are a little late, huh?
Who cares?
Yeah. So Atlanta won. Uh,
I
great.
mean, who were you rooting for in that?
Can I vote for neither?
You can, but like I feel like it's just a common sense thing to have rooted against Houston.
But I mean, like, my mom's a Met fan, and they're the Braves, so
Yeah, but like I don't know, one of my best buddies is a Mets fan, and like having played baseball, he's just like you have to understand that like what the Astros did is just way more fucked up than whatever the rivalry in itself did to the Mets.
yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, I barely watched any of the game, and yeah,
Me
I
either.
didn't really want Houston to win either. But like,
The only thing I paid attention to was when Charlie Morton broke his leg in game one and then continued to pitch.
oh my god,
Which I think is reason enough why that whole like stay in for three batters rule needs to stop.
yeah,
Like obviously there should have been the loophole in itself that if somebody was injured they could have been pulled.
yeah.
But then you feel like you're gonna get the soccer thing where like people just fake injuries to get out. But the
But I
other side
mean,
of it is
you
like,
you can just
you
like
know,
find them later or ban them for a game if you
right.
like actually diagnose the injury after because he really should not have
Yeah.
kept going.
I mean, I'm not saying like force MRIs, but
No, but there are some pretty easy other checks to do.
yeah. Yeah, or like have like the NFL has and I know it's not good to say the NFL as a baseline for morally right, but when they have the neutral, like not team but neutral neurological specialist or something.
Yeah, and
Like just
like
have a neutral uh like sports medicine guy on site.
you can do that. Yeah. All right, and then as far as off-season stuff, nobody wants to work for the Mets. Who knew, dude?
I mean, like it's weird because everybody thought that once Steve Cohen bought the franchise and like turned it around in the sense that they were going to start spending money for free agents, build leadership and build a new culture, that nobody saw that like they just didn't do anything about the skeletons in the closet.
Yeah. So
And
not surprised.
like then Mickey Callaway is the former manager who gets, outed, then it's executives getting outed, GMs getting outed. Yeah, like at some point you just gotta understand that the Mets just are going to be this way. This is like what happens in toxic sports organizations that never win.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, I think they really just need to purge their entire like operation to fix it. But that's not gonna happen.
no,
So
I agree with that because there's just no point in keeping anybody who's in the know of what happened because at that point somebody's withholding information
yep.
and it's just not going to end well.
All right. Other baseball stuff. How do you like the arm barn, dude? Please stop.
Yeah, and it really doesn't need to stop. I mean, kudos to PETA for like giving a shit, but this has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of animal abuse. They want you to change from saying the word bullpen because it's somehow insensitive to an animal that is nowhere near any baseball field. It's like, what are they going to go after the Durham Bulls to just because it's a minor league team that shares the name? If PETA went after every sports team that represented an animal, or like it's like saying that the Phoenix Suns gorilla because it's a gorilla and it jumps to a basketball hoop. If it ever hits its head on the on the backboard, it's posing a threat to the reputation of gorillas. It's like no, it's just a fucking guy in a suit. Like
I mean, it's
there's
also
nothing
saying
left
like
to
the ducks should rename themselves because we don't want like ducks on ice smashing their
it.
bodies into each other and getting
Yeah, yeah.
hurt.
Every team that's in our fucking rebuild should be considered abusive to PETA because all they do is conduct detrimental reputation to the animals in which they represent.
Well, good luck with that. All right.
My wording was probably horrible on that, but it's late and I just don't care. Basically, what I'm saying is like PETA would go after if PETA had anything. Fuck a salary cap. If PETA was serious about making shit happen and making change happen, go after the teams that are so bad that they're embarrassing what an animal is.
All right. Anyway, the White Sox are, I guess.
No. Ozzie Guillen, the former White Sox manager, the guy who publicly backed Fidel Castro
Right.
and hasn't managed a team since 2013, at which point he was fired after the Fidel Castro remarks, was now being interviewed to be a manager of the Padres. Granted, this did not happen, but I just thought that this was noteworthy that this seemed like a good idea to people
Yeah.
at the time.
I don't think it ever should have even happened. It's not a good idea.
It's really not. And just to go through Ozzie Guillen as a manager, first of all, he was not a manager for that long
Yeah,
in
it
his
was
career.
pretty short.
Started in 2004. Well, started in 2004 and ended in 2011 with the White Sox, and then one season with the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, that was a Marlins team that brought in Jose Reyes, Mark Burley, was supposed to be a super team, and went 69 and 93.
Yep.
Finishing fifth, dead last in the NL East.
Yep.
Now, he did have a grand total of 2 playoff appearances with the White Sox in 7 seasons.
8 years, 7
One of
seasons.
them,
Yeah.
one of them did end up winning the World Series, but I mean, he inherited a good team from the start when he got to Chicago.
Yep.
Because they were 83 and 79 to start, second in the AL Central.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well,
That's enough baseball for us. So.
Oh, good. He was on ESPN Deportes. That's what you want to see.
Anyway, let's look at some football news. Let's start with Derrick Henry. Could be out for the rest of the season, basically.
No, he is.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So he's out for the rest of the season. So the Titans sign Adrian Peterson. Good on them.
Yeah, good on them. It's a shame because the Titans were really killing it this year, but it's really hard to replace Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like, the production that you get with your replacement, even if it is Adrian Peterson, is a percentage of what Derrick Henry gives you. And if you're lucky, you get a solid percentage.
It's not even like a talent difference or anything between Henry and Peterson. It's also Peterson doesn't know like the schemes or how the guys block or whatnot. So it's just gonna be tough to slot in.
In theory, yes.
So,
but you do have he is a 36-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, I'm putting aside all of that because you're not as young as Henry. You're not like that all that's there, but also like you don't have any of the prior preparation. You're just kind of going in there.
Right, but at 36, you're probably more equipped to have seen all those schemes by that time in your career, whereas the average running back is out of the league by like 32.
Yep. All right. Jameis Winston's also out for the season. That kind of sucks.
It does, but I was kind of excited because I thought that this year he had a chance to kind of get the bad interception throwing version of Jameis away from his reputation. And I think to some degree he kind of did that, but the offense wasn't very good.
Yeah. But I mean,
not necessarily all his fault too. Kamara's kind of, not been what he once was. And so Michael Thomas didn't want to show up. They don't have a great tight end anymore like they did for years and years. And so you kind of have to improvise a lot, and that leads to some bad things.
Yeah. The Rams acquire Von Miller.
That one was big, but it wasn't as it oddly was. I don't know even how to say it, but like it oddly brought it back down to a level of normalcy when the Rams GM was like, "Fuck it, I don't want draft picks anyway." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay,
I mean,
good for you.
if that's how you're gonna do it, then like, why is it newsworthy then? Like, because the return is the big thing.
Yeah. Okay, Browns release Odell Beckham Jr. Just don't have your father go complain on Twitter for you.
Or put up YouTube videos sideways, which I think that's the funniest part of all this is you're gonna create an 11-minute video about how your son is open. One, if your son's a professional athlete, you probably don't need to come to their aid like that.
Yeah,
Maybe for like mental and emotional stuff, but like this isn't his high school,
right. Exactly.
tape to put out for colleges. Like I'm sure Baker Mayfield knows and wishes he could have gotten back some of those throws.
Oh yeah.
But, like, let's just say what it is. OBJ is a diva and he's a prick. In that sense, that on the field, this is what he does. He wants and demands attention. And when you want and demand attention, you end up not getting attention.
Yeah. But anyway, and Kansas City acquires Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, he didn't want to be here.
Whatever.
He didn't want to be here, and that was really the only thing that could make this graphic 6 boxes.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know what to tell you.
all right. Last piece of news that we thought was pretty cool. Yeah. So Mike White played for the Jets. Was it a week, 2 weeks ago now? Two
Yeah,
weeks. And some random guy, a shop owner, placed $1,000 bet and got paid out 125 to 1.
but he was a shop owner.
Yeah, it's like a local store owner or something. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well I mean, one as a businessman, bad, bad person. You don't put $1,000 on a bet. You don't
One
put a
twenty five to
thousand.
one bet,
First of
dude.
all, second of all, I want to know what sports book this guy is using, where he can pick who's going to have the most passing yards. So I've used DraftKings, FanDuel, and like a bunch of others, and I've never seen that prop. Something tells me this guy's betting
Wasn't he
legally.
at a casino in AC or something?
I don't read the articles. I just grab
Yeah, I'm
the
pretty
headlines.
sure he was at a casino.
Okay, so he probably did this drunk, didn't he?
Yeah, who cares? He won 125 to 1. Okay.
Be nice.
Yeah,
Or as Sean calls it, monopoly money.
I mean, I just thought that was pretty cool. Like, I don't think any sane person was making that bet. Uh,
Oh, so we agree that some things cause this. I
uh,
mean, it worked out, but like that's like I saw on Twitter last week, and somebody was like, created a parlay, and it was like, well, it could happen, and it was a $1 bet that would pay out 3 point some billion. You know what it was?
what?
Every game to have a safety.
That is
He
not it.
parlayed every game to have a safety.
That's not it.
Yeah,
But
but
would he put
like,
$1? Okay, I don't care. You put $1. Go ahead. Go
but
entertain
like,
yourself.
I mean, like, yeah, I would have stopped at like 2 or 3 games and been like, the odds are probably still like $1 turns into like 15,000.
Yeah, but like, still, it's $1. Go do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I get it. At $1, you can play the things a lot differently, but 1,000 on a guy that nobody really had a lot of tape of. I mean, he must have watched this guy in college.
I don't think so. I
I
don't
mean,
remember, but like, I'm pretty sure he just did it.
I mean that's the other part of it is the odds had to be the best.
Yeah, best 125 to 1. Those were the best odds of that week.
Yeah, but the fun part about it was like because the Chiefs are so fucking bad this year. not just in terms of record, but scoring offense. They don't put up big numbers like they're used to. So, for them to have to deal with, or the better having to deal with, okay, we have to wait on Patrick Mahomes to be the final card here
Yeah.
in terms of passing yards is like,
And it was against
that's
the
got to be
Giants
the
on Monday
biggest.
night, right?
It's the biggest sweat job until you figure it out that it's like the third quarter and Mahomes probably has like 175 pass yards, and you're like, actually, now that I think about it, like that's actually more pressure. Because if they were down, because they were going back and forth there for a while, like
But he was playing the
there's more
Giants, so
pressure
you wouldn't have had to worry.
in theory. But like if they caught themselves down, which they did, because then they went on a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So there was passing yards involved late.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, last thing we want to talk about is fantasy leaders. So yeah, Derrick Henry's on this list because he's really good, but he probably won't be on this list anymore. Actually, definitely won't be.
His average will be.
But it's gonna drop, no? Oh no, because he'll just stay at 8 games, right?
Yeah, his average is based off of games played.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you know what? It really pisses me off that Tom Brady's in the top three. Like,
I mean,
when he was in New England, and granted, different scheme, different coach, different game plan, he never put up fantasy numbers like this in New England. That's when he was being considered as the GOAT.
yeah, but I mean, let's just take it as it is. Cooper Kupp, whoever drafted him, you're having the best season of your life.
See, like part of me, like always goes into the drafts and is like, oh, Robert Woods is the more appealing one. Because I'd rather grab the guy who's going to get the catches that the guy who's double teamed is going to get.
I also wanna bring up 6 of the top 8 are quarterbacks,
And
right?
that kind of I mean, hey, I picked up Tyrod Taylor for like a minute and a half when he came off of IR.
But like 6 of the top 8 are quarterbacks, and if you go to top 10 where you have 7 of the top 10,
Yeah.
that's like that just shows
It,
you how much
it's been
importance
a
a quarterback is
it's
probably, especially in PPR leagues.
it's been a down year for receivers, as big as it's been for quarterbacks in a sense. For
Yeah.
like 20 NFL teams, quarterback play has not been amazing.
Yeah, but
Like, there's a major talent drop off after you get past your top like 5 quarterbacks.
right, but if you look at this, right, you have 10 quarterbacks here that are all putting up great numbers.
Right, and then there's the other side of things, and not to be a homer, but like every week on an Instagram fantasy football page that I follow, uh, they do their quarterback rankings, and Ben Roethlisberger is ranked dead last. Like, I'm not saying it shouldn't be like that, but that's just how. Because there's like Ben at this point in his career shouldn't. I shouldn't be able to say that he could be interchanged for like Baker Mayfield
Right.
or like some other quarterbacks like that, but they're all kind of playing at the same level,
Yeah.
and so if Roethlisberger is going to be the 26th best quarterback you can play in fantasy football in a given week, but Baker Mayfield can't beat him, then what does that say about, Baker Mayfield? What does it say about other guys like Baker Mayfield, like whoever's starting for the Texans? Like, it's just,
But
it's
I,
rare.
I mean,
There's not a lot of domination.
my point here is that like you know how fantasy normally goes, like top 5 players usually pick a running back and then it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like where the heck are the running backs in this list?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
it's
got
not been
Derrick
a big
Henry, but he's
It's
out for the
not been
season.
it's not been a huge year for like throwing to the running back either.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
Because
point.
jet sweeps are so popular now. Jet sweeps and reverses have taken over that kind of screen game.
Yeah.
So wide receivers just get the rushes, and then wide receivers get bigger stats, and then the running backs get less.
Yeah. So I mean, if this continues though, like, will we see a shift in like draft priority?
I think we should.
I think we should have already, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think we should have already for sure. But like, think about what they would do for fantasy football going forward in the next year or two as that shifts. To get running back depth in later rounds would be not as rare of a commodity. It wouldn't be as hard to pull off
Yeah.
because, like, depending on the size of your league, once you get past round like 6 or 7, you're basically staring at all backups.
Yeah.
And
And
to
the
think that you could grab a starter in the 6th or 7th round would be amazing.
but the thing is like as a going as I'm going to draft in fantasy football, right? Like I'd rather have a guaranteed top 5 quarterback and a star wide receiver as my first 2 picks than like move the running back till the 4th, 5th round. Like who cares? Like what at this point they were gonna give me like 15 points. Now they're gonna give me like 8 because I chose like a middle of the pack one.
Mhm. No, you're right. Honestly, and I know that he's number one on the list right now. If I were the fantasy player that owned Cooper Cup, I'd trade that fucker for like 3 other guys in the top 20.
Yeah, who's gonna give you that trade though?
Somebody would, because they're going to see the headlines and see Cooper Cup on pace to break Calvin Johnson's receiving record. And they're going to think a lot of yards, a lot of catches, and they're going to completely disregard the fact that defense eventually is going to make adjustments.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, yeah, you'll have to throw in some guy who's probably like top 50 and make it like 3 for 2.
mhm.
But like, you could pull it off and get yourself a better team out of that one guy largely.
Yeah,
Like, Miles Gaskin has been a pain in the ass for my fantasy team. If I gave you Cooper Cup and Miles Gaskin for, you know, what was it Metcalf and 2 other guys between 20 and 30, I'd fucking take that deal.
all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It depends on
You
like,
have to look at it as a margin thing because
yeah.
you're giving up 27 points roughly, but you're bringing in about like 35 to 30 or to
But you
40
also have to
points.
look at the delta on your side because who are these players replacing, right?
Well, that's why you get rid of the shitty throwing.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's a bunch to go in there, and then if the other guy actually does trades and doesn't just gaslight you, basically.
Hey man, I picked up Julio Jones on the waiver wire because people just fucking drop guys, and I'm like, well, Devontae Parker keeps getting hurt. He's on my IR slot. You're just gonna leave Julio there. I mean, I know he's not putting up big numbers, but he's consistent.
Yeah.
And just a sneak peek, I'm trying to grab Tyler Boyd because somebody dropped him too.
All right.
He's because Jamar Chase is, getting all those, throws to him, but I'll take Tyler Boyd over Kendrick Bourne.
Mhm. Yeah.
See if I can solidify him. Also, I started 0-3 in my league this year and have proceeded to win the last 6, and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
now 6-3.
Nice.
Whooped the shit out of the number 1 team this past week, like an 80-point win.
All right.
How's yours been?
I don't.
Oh, you used to.
Yeah,
You
I don't
used to.
have. I dropped my slot this year because I don't want to play in a 14 team league.
Yeah, mine's 12 team this year, which is like the biggest I've gone
That
in a
is
while.
the largest I would go.
Right.
There's no like, it's just so hard to play any higher because like by 5th round it's over. Like you're grasping at straws. I don't even know the players' names
Actually,
anymore.
I did pretty well with drafting. I haven't had to make any trades.
Eh, all right.
Not to
Anything else you
brag,
want to
not
talk
to
about?
brag. No, I'm pretty good here. Next time we gotta get an episode up soon. But next week, I do want to talk about the Suns because of what has been reported with their owner.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
Because when 70 plus people complain about the owner being racist and misogynist, 70 is a large number.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that and what that means for the organization because ironically, or not so much ironically, but coincidentally, it might actually be the best thing that happens. So
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time, I guess.
yeah.